Okay, so I get the pleasure of interviewing Joan Brooks today. So, Joan, welcome. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about, who you are and what you do?
Yeah. So my name is Joan Brooks and I live in Philadelphia. And what I do is help women live from the deepest, most wisest place in themselves so that they can make the impact in the world that they really want to make and that they're here to make.
That's so beautiful. So Joan, let's back up to, before you took this course with me, where were you and, uh, kind of what was your situation in terms of offering an online course, that kind of thing?
Mhm. I had, through other programs with you, Natalie, created high impact programs, one-on-one, 90 days, 6-month programs, 3-day VIP programs. My absolute favorite, where my clients actually stay at my house for 3 days. So I had created those and offered those successfully for a number of years, but I had been very hesitant to offer an online program, especially for a group. I just couldn't figure out how could I do the work I do in a group I could do, but in a group and online, how could I do that? So I had not up to that point created or offered any online group programs.
And what were so one of your hesitations was that you weren't sure that you could do what you do
Right.
with a group online. Did you have any other hesitations or obstacles or, any of that?
Yeah, well, lots of obstacles. So one of my obstacles is like, who would want to, this is a common one for me. Who would want what I have to offer? And if people did want what I had to offer, how would I ever reach them? How would they ever know about it if it's in this huge online world out here in the ethernets, right? So who would want it? And even if they did, how would they ever know about it? So really, um, uh, uh, a fear that I would spend all that time and effort and energy and care creating something, and then it would be for nothing, that it would go nowhere.
Yeah, I understand that. And so what were your reasons for wanting to offer this particular online course?
A couple. One is I was going through some old, really kind of the impetus for it was that I was going through some old journals from 4 years ago. I was going through journals for a book that I'm writing. And I came across the name of a program that I had thought of 4 years ago called Welcome Home to Your Sacred Body. And I thought, why didn't I ever offer that? Why didn't I ever do anything with that? And I felt the surge of energy in my body from that. And so it was really, Natalie, that spark like lit a fuse in me. And so that was one reason. And another reason, I was going to do it in person. I was going to do this was going to be a 9-week program. I was going to do it in person. I felt like we were getting to the place where we could come back together in person. And then the Delta variant came up again. And it was like, I can't do this in person. And actually, it was you who said, well, why don't you do this online? And I said, no, I can't possibly. And here I am.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about Welcome Home to Your Sacred Body. Tell us about the course, how it's going, how many you enrolled, all that good stuff.
Oh, it is beyond what I ever imagine. I'm getting teary thinking about this. So the name is Welcome Home to Your Sacred Body. It's a 12-week online group program, 12 2-hour online Zoom sessions, all live. It's all live. And it's for women who have done a ton of inner work, and yet they still sometimes struggle and have challenges with doubting themselves, even though they're successful. They question, will I be successful the next time? Or gee, anybody could have done that, or I just got lucky this time. So even no matter what they see, it's like, oh no, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough yet. And so it's for, again, women who have done a ton of inner work and yet still struggle and have challenges. And it is designed to help them. I have trouble describing this. Well, to help them, one, clear out the shit, shame, and blame that doesn't belong to them and that gets in their way. To heal the wound or a wound that's keeping them in that I'm not good enough place. And to really learn to listen to the wisdom of their bodies, to really know their bodies as their greatest resource, and as this resource that's always here at any moment. And so that they can feel more confident, and more courageous. And so they can step into their full power and take their rightful place in the world. That's kind of the ultimate goal of the program.
It's so beautiful. Well, I'm actually in this program, so I have an inside seat, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I'm not here to do a review of your course, but wow, is it powerful, and you're delivering it so beautifully.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the finances and the numbers and that kind of thing.
Okay. So this, ask me a little clearer about what you're looking for. I'm not sure.
Yeah. How many people enrolled, and what is the investment for the course?
Got it. So in this first beta program, the tuition was more than 50% savings. So it was $397, and 9 people enrolled. And so, I made about $3,600, give or take. And now for this next one, it's $597, and I already have 6 enrolled, and I'm looking for 4 more. And then in what I believe will be the final tuition will be $897 or $997. I haven't decided yet. So in the first beta, like you say, Natalie, I got paid $3,600 to create my program.
Yeah, because I always say, you get paid to practice with your first
Yes.
online course.
Yes, exactly.
Because you're learning and honing as you go, right?
Right. I had never done anything like this. I mean, it's based on my 20 years of experience and training and skills. So that's all in there. But delivering it and doing it in an online format, I'd never done anything like this before.
And are you surprised at how effective it's being when you can't be in the same room and you can't touch anybody and, all that?
In some ways, yes. And the short answer is I am blown away. I really am blown away by the depth, by the commitment, by the compassion, by the way we're a group, a real community. I'm just blown away by it. I really am.
Well, and I would also add that your experience, your expertise, your wisdom, your years of, learning and practicing the processes that you use, you make it seem like it's an absolute natural to guide people to do this over Zoom.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. That's good to hear. And it feels natural. It really does. I've worked a lot one-on-one with clients on Zoom since the pandemic because I wasn't seeing anybody in person. So, but to feel like I'm really holding the container for the group, and I really experience myself as being able to hold that container, even in what I call the Zoom room.
Yeah. So Joan, what do you, what excites you about what your students, I know you're not finished with this course, so this isn't really the final answer, but what excites you about what they're getting and what you're expecting their results are going to be?
As I said, beyond anything I could have imagined, how vulnerable and open they are to, they do whatever I ask of them, and how deep they're willing to go, how supportive, Natalie, how supportive and caring they are with each other. So it's not like, oh, that's a surprise to me, and it's delightful for me. And so now I'm like, oh, I hope all my groups are like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And really I would say, as a student in your course, I would say that the results aren't in yet. Like we don't even know how this is going to impact our lives yet, because I know from doing deep inner work, you don't know, because it unfolds in surprising ways as you live your life. You just notice, wow, I did that thing that used to scare the pants off me, and I was calm. I felt confident, so these are the things that I expect to be unfolding for us over the weeks and even months, ahead.
I agree. And I'm actually glad you said that, because that gives me the impetus to keep checking in, to, I want to hear. You're right. It's not like, oh, at the end, you're going to leave with a plan that you're going to implement. Like, it's not like that. It's more internal and what's the word? Not abstract, but intangible in the moment, but in the future, you'll see it. So I'm glad you're saying that. That gives me an impetus to keep checking in and saying, I want to hear what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. To give us that invitation to come back and say, whoa, I had one of those benchmark experiences where I did that thing that I've been doing once a year or something, for the last 10 years. And it was completely different this time, because that's what I expect. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah. So Joan, we do, you and I, and, me and my students, we do what I call shadow dancing, which is various processes and procedures to access the unconscious, to access the shadow, as part of the work that I do. I know you know this, but I'm just kind of explaining to the people who are watching this video. So how have those tools that we have used, how have they impacted or benefited you in your ability to, do your work and launch your program and be successful?
Oh, I couldn't have done it without those shadow dancing processes that you have taught us and lead us through, and that I continue to do. They truly, so in my first coaching call with you this last time, you did a melting mountains with me, because I was saying, I can't do an online course. I can't do it. There's no way I could do this work online. No way. And so you did what your melting mountains process with me. And I still have the end of that written on a note on my laptop. And it says, isn't depth, divinity, and sacredness enough? Because that's what came.
Yeah, because I remember you asked the question of whoever it was that you were contacting.
Yeah.
You asked the question, somehow the answer came out of that. What was it? What were the 3 words? Divinity and
yeah. Yeah, because I asked, well, is there more? And it said, isn't depth, divinity, and sacredness enough?
Yeah, because you had asked before that, what would I get if I do that? And the answer was depth, divinity, and sacredness.
Yes.
And then you ask, is there more? And that's when you got that.
That's when I got that. Isn't that enough? So, and that directly came out of one of the shadow dancing processes. And that I was like, yes, that's enough. Yeah. And that was my guiding light throughout, anytime I had fear, anytime I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, this isn't going to work, that's why it's still sitting right here on my laptop. Every morning I can look at this.
Mm. Mm. It's so beautiful. Okay, so let's see. What are you already kind of alluded to this a little bit, but what are you looking forward to now that you have done this?
So I'm looking forward to offering this again, again and again and again. I already have my second program, almost more than halfway filled. I'm also looking forward to creating the next program, for people who have been in Welcome Home to Your Sacred Body and want to continue to work deeper with me, then I'm already in the process. I'm thinking about. I'm not, don't get me wrong, like I don't have a lot done, but I'm letting it percolate. I'm letting this idea unfold tentatively. I'm naming this Unleashed. The name of the program, Unleashed. And right now I'm thinking 12 months, a 12-month program, meeting twice a month with a 5-day retreat. And that's where I am right now with that. So that's my next big, really big program and project.
That sounds delicious. So
Yeah.
what are you most proud of?
Natalie, I'm most proud of, well, first, just doing it, really from that first conversation with you to starting in October, whenever we started, to really doing it, to putting myself out there, to saying I have this program to offer. And so I'm most proud. I'm most proud. That's what I'm most proud of. And what I'm also proud of is this is the first time I've done a lot of online things, but this is the first time I've done an online program that's my work, that's my life's work. And I'm really, really proud of that and grateful for the recognition that I receive for that.
It's so beautiful, Joan, because this course, it was like it was born out of your inspiration.
Yes.
And you're not just teaching somebody else's thing, you're combining your wisdom and your learning and your knowledge and your experience and expertise into something beautiful that is your creation.
Yeah, it's my creation. Yes.
That's so cool. And so what are you most grateful for? What is something that you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for saying, oh, it has to be in person. And you said, well, what about an online course? And me saying no, and then you just sticking with me until I could see the yes. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for the guidance of what I call my wise counsel. And that's the dark mother goddess, my brilliance, and my wild and dark core. Like those, they are my wise counsel, and I talk to them. I journal with them every morning, and I am so grateful for their love, for their support, their encouragement, their wisdom, and their inspiration, which they so freely give to me.
Joan, I am so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for taking this time to talk with me and share your experience, your success, your excitement.
Thank
This
you.
is just, it's just so fulfilling for me to witness this and to be, to be a journeyer with you on this adventure that we're having. You're my teacher, I'm your teacher.
Yes.
And it's just delightful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Natalie.